Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, because today we've got some massive news that's about to shake up the entire digital comics industry. Disney and WebToon have just officially announced their strategic partnership, and trust me, this is way bigger than you might think. We're talking about decades of iconic storytelling meeting the future of digital comics. So grab your coffee, get comfortable, and let's dive into what this means for fans of Marvel, Star Wars, and webcomics everywhere. Alright, so here's the headline. The Walt Disney Company and WebToon Entertainment have officially formalized their strategic agreements and confirmed they're moving forward with a brand new digital comics platform. And yes, this is as huge as it sounds. For those who might not be familiar, WebToon is the global leader in digital comics and webcomics. They've revolutionized how people consume comics, especially with their vertical scrolling format that's perfect for mobile devices. If you've ever read comics on your phone and loved the experience, there's a good chance it was on WebToon or inspired by their format. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. WebToon will be responsible for developing and operating this new service, which means they're bringing all their expertise in digital comic delivery to Disney's incredible catalog. We're talking about a platform that will feature both current titles and classic stories from Disney's vast library. But wait, there's more. This isn't just about Disney's animated properties. The platform will include decades of stories from Marvel Comics, Star Wars, and even 20th Century Studios. Think about that for a second. Everything from Spider-Man and the Avengers to Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader, all potentially available in a mobile-friendly, vertical scrolling format. Now, let's talk about what makes this partnership so revolutionary. The project is betting big on the vertical, mobile-first format that's already incredibly popular among webcomic readers. If you've been reading traditional comics, you know they're designed for print, horizontal panels, page turns, the whole 9 yards. But WebToon has proven that there's a better way to read comics on your phone. The vertical scrolling format is intuitive, immersive, and honestly, it just makes sense for mobile devices. Instead of zooming in and out or rotating your phone, you simply scroll down like you're browsing social media. Sounds simple, but it completely changes the reading experience. Artists can play with panel timing, create long vertical compositions, and control pacing in ways that traditional comics can't. This move represents Disney adapting their traditional comic book content for the digital age. We're living in a world where more people read on their phones than ever before, and this partnership acknowledges that reality. WebToon has mastered this format over the years, building a massive global audience, and now they're bringing that expertise to some of the most beloved franchises in entertainment history. But here's what's really exciting. This isn't just about converting old comics to a new format. According to the announcement, the companies are also developing brand new, original webcomics based on Disney franchises specifically for global launch. That means we're getting content created from the ground up with the vertical format in mind, optimized for the mobile reading experience. This announcement is actually a continuation of news that first broke back in September, so Disney and WebToon have been working on this for a while. The fact that they're now officially formalizing these agreements shows that both companies are serious about making this work. Let's put this in context. The comics industry has been struggling to figure out digital distribution for years. Sure, there are apps like Marvel Unlimited and Comixology, but they largely just replicate the print experience on a screen. WebToon, on the other hand, has built an entirely new ecosystem around digital-first comics, with a business model that includes free-to-read content supported by ads and optional paid features. The partnership signals a significant shift in how major entertainment companies are thinking about digital comic consumption. Disney isn't just dipping their toes in the water here, they're partnering with the biggest name in digital comics to create something that could potentially reshape how millions of people access and enjoy these stories. Think about the reach this could have. WebToon has over 170 million monthly active users worldwide. That's a massive potential audience for Marvel and Star Wars content. And many of these readers are younger demographics who might not have grown up reading traditional comics but are totally comfortable consuming stories on their phone. So what exactly can we expect from this platform? Based on the announcement, the service will feature, first, decades of stories from Marvel Comics. We're talking about an absolutely massive catalog here, everything from the original Stan Lee and Jack Kirby stories to modern run. Imagine being able to scroll through the entire history of Spider-Man, the X-Men, or the Fantastic Four in a format designed for your phone. Second, Star Wars content. Disney has been publishing Star Wars comics since they acquired Lucasfilm, and there's a huge library of material from both the current Marvel Star Wars line and potentially classic content from the Dark Horse Comics era. For Star Wars fans who want to explore stories beyond the movies and shows, this could be an amazing resource. Third, content from 20th Century Studios. This is interesting because it opens the door to franchises like Alien, Predator, Predator, Planet of the Apes, and other properties that have had comic book adaptations over the years. And finally, original series from WebToon itself will also be part of the launch. This means the platform won't just be Disney content, it'll be a destination for webcomics in general, potentially featuring some of WebToon's most popular original series alongside the Disney franchises. Alright, so what does all of this mean for us, the fans? Well, if this platform delivers on its promise, we could be looking at one of the most comprehensive digital comics libraries ever assembled, all in a format that's actually enjoyable to read on mobile devices. For anime and manga fans, this is particularly interesting because the vertical scrolling format is already familiar if you've been reading webtoons or digital manga. The barrier to entry for getting into Western comics has often been the format and accessibility. If Disney and WebToon can make Marvel and Star Wars as easy to read as your favorite manga or webtoon, that could bring a whole new audience to these franchises. There's also the potential for new storytelling opportunities. When creators know they're working in a vertical, mobile-first format from the beginning, they can craft stories that take full advantage of the medium. We might see experimental panel layouts, unique pacing techniques, and visual storytelling that simply wouldn't work in traditional print comics. And let's not forget the convenience factor. Having everything in one app optimized for your phone, with potentially new chapters releasing on a regular schedule like other webtoons, that's a game changer compared to trying to hunt down back issues or navigate multiple different comic apps. Of course, we still have a lot of questions. The announcement doesn't specify a launch date, pricing model, or exactly which titles will be available at launch. Will this be a subscription service like Marvel Unlimited? Will it use WebToon's freemium model with ad-supported free reading and paid FastPass options? We'll have to wait and see. There's also the question of how they'll handle the adaptation of traditional comics to the vertical format. Will they simply reformat existing pages, or will artists redraw and reimagine classic stories specifically for vertical scrolling? The latter would be more work but could result in a much better reading experience. And what about creator involvement? Will Marvel and Star Wars comic creators be developing new original series for the platform? Could we see established comic writers and artists collaborating with webtoon creators to bring fresh perspectives to these beloved franchises? One thing's for sure, this partnership represents a significant evolution in how we consume comics, and it'll be fascinating to see how it develops. So there you have it, Disney and WebToon are officially partnering to bring Marvel, Star Wars, and more to a new digital comics platform with a mobile-first, vertical scrolling format. This could genuinely change the game for digital comics, making decades of amazing stories more accessible than ever before. What do you think about this partnership? Are you excited to read Marvel and Star Wars comics in the webtoon format? What titles do you hope to see on the platform? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more news about anime, manga, comics, and pop culture. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any updates about this platform as more information becomes available. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.